Hello, I'm Benny Westside, and welcome to the crash course for Forge. Today I want to go over Forge's abilities, his T4 upgrades, overall gear and level investment, ISO classes. That way, when you unlock him, you can make a more informed decision. So let's get into it. I like to start with the passive ability, so let's start reading. Improvised inventions. On turn, he's gonna craft a random invention that this character doesn't have. If so, after on turn 3, he's gonna have all three. It just the question is which one does he do first? If he does the rifle upgrade on attack, he's gonna apply +1 vulnerable. Uh, if he gets the shoulder cannon on X-Men ally turn end, he's gonna attack lowest health enemy, and then the targeting reticle is gonna give 25% crit chance for self and all X-Men allies. On any turn, he's gonna heal the most injured X-Men ally, not tied to Extreme X-Men. This is for all X-Men. When this character or any X-Men drop below 50% health, he's gonna barrier all X-Men and then gain speed bar. And this is not just for the first time, this is every time. And he's barriering all of them. He's gonna have the armor and resistance passive for the team. This is inclusive of all X-Men, and then in raids, it's even more for Extreme X-Men. And then his T4 upgrade on spawn, he's gonna apply defense up to self and all X-Men. I would call this an essential upgrade. Defense up on spawn is really important. Sometimes we have enemies that have speed bar on spawn, especially in raids. Having the defense up is really valuable. So I would call this essential. All right, and so before we move on, I do want to talk about this rifle upgrade, shoulder cannon, and targeting reticle. It might be confusing at first and not immediately evident, but so this is the shoulder cannon. It's gonna be on his shoulder. It might be lowered like this as you're seeing, so it might not necessarily be up like Kree Cyborg's, but that if he has this, then he has that passive aggression. This is the targeting reticle. If he gets this gear, he's always going to give the additional crit chance. This is really important for Gambit and Nightcrawler especially. And then normally he has a regular, I believe it's a pistol or like a basic gun. But if it's a big one, then you know that he's always going to be applying vulnerable. And this is actually a good spot that I'm showing you. Recently, along with these crash course videos, I've started putting out graphics. I will link this down below, so go check that out. And you can check out the ones for the other characters as well. Every new character or rework that happens, I'm putting out a crash course video and a graphic now. Alright, so I would call this as an essential upgrade. I'm gonna say, actually, especially outside of raids, it is essential. In raids, what's gonna happen is Nightcrawler's gonna go super early and give everybody speed bar. So this defense up might actually wear off by the time any enemy gets to attack. But if you get countered or anything in the meantime, it's still really valuable to have. I would still label this an essential upgrade. All right, let's look at his ultimate, which is available on turn 1. And it's on, I think that's a 10 turn cooldown. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 450 piercing and clear all positive effects, primary and adjacent. He's going to clear all debuffs from self and all X-Men. He's going to heal all X-Men. It's nice that he clears the debuffs before healing. That way, if they have any heal block, this gets around it. He's going to prolong all buffs on all X-Men. And then he's going to apply counter, deathproof, and deflect to self and all X-Men. He applies these buffs after the extension so that they don't get double. He's going to apply 1 charge to all X-Men, 10 charge to Cyclops. And he's going to revive 1 Extreme X-Men. This is specifically calling out Extreme. And if there are no extreme allies to revive, he's going to gain 3 ability energy. We saw this in Anti-Venom, where he would gain energy if there was nobody to revive. And then the T4 upgrade means in raids, he's going to apply Evade and Safeguard to self on all extreme allies. I would also call this an essential upgrade. Evade, really valuable. This is great for Gambit's kit and Nightcrawler's kit, but overall, just having dodge is perfect. And then Safeguard, we all know how valuable that buff has been. Alright, his special ability, Boot and Shoot, this is going to be on a 5-turn cooldown. He's going to attack primary, copy 1 buff. He's going to chain to 1 adjacent, copy another buff. He won't copy Taunt. He's going to spread all buffs from self to all X-Men allies, excluding Taunt. He's going to heal self on all X-Men for 20%. And if he is charged, so if you use this ability after his ultimate, he's going to apply immunity as well to self on all X-Men, and then he's going to drop his charge. The T4 upgrade means he clears heal block, then heals. As you can see, the heal block clause goes before the heal. This is really, really valuable. I'm going to call this essential as well. I know this has been already 3 essential abilities, but that's just how it is. Clearing the heal block before the heal is really important. So I would recommend this upgrade as well. And in terms of usage, often it's tempting to use the special first, actually, when you're in war or something. But if you use the ult first, that means on the special you can apply immunity. So it's actually give or take. I think it's going to depend on the case and the fight that you're fighting. And if somebody's already dead, you might immediately want to do the revive, or you might want to spread those buffs regardless of the immunity. So it's going to be a little more clinical, and just we're going to have to pay attention to the matchups. Alright, let's look at his basic. He's just going to attack primary, but he's going to apply deflect, regen to the 4 most injured X-Men allies, and then he also does this on his ISO attack. And the T4 upgrade says he will do this to all X-Men, not just 4. Going from 4 to 5, which is what you're going to have, I don't think there's any case, unless you bring Mr. Sinister and clone a bunch of X-Men from the other side, there isn't really a case where you're going to have more than 5. So going from 4 to 5 isn't necessarily something I would call essential, but this is still a pretty damn good upgrade. And I would recommend that you do this if you have them to spare. This is I think it's a high value upgrade, because just the regeneration means basically a heal for the whole team. Alright, I think actually this is a good segue into the ISO class, because we just talked about what he does on the ISO. If he's a striker, on his ISO attack, he's going to apply deflect and regen to the whole team. I think that makes a really, really good case for him to be a striker. I think healer is also a good choice, because he has 2 healing active abilities and healing on his passive, and this is on any turn. So that's going to go from 5 to about 6.3. So that's a good upgrade. Is it 6.6? Yes, it's 6.6. Sorry. Anyway, that's a good upgrade for him if you make him a healer. But I think having him striker, putting that deflect and regen on all the time is great. And considering he has, when he has the rifle upgrade, he's going to apply vulnerable on his attacks. So it's basically a free ISO attack. So I think that's a good case for him to be a striker. You could go Raider because of the crit chance on the team. Gambit has crit chance boost. He himself has crit chance boost. You could go Raider. That's not a bad choice. You could also even go for Skirmisher because he applies that vulnerable. You might want to use that to be purposely clearing buffs. Those are secondary choices. I would lean towards healer or striker, and my preference is going to be striker, at least for the time being. Maybe down the line, when we're punching up into the next raid or the higher difficulties of what we have right now, his healing's just gonna need that extra boost. So right now, I'm gonna recommend striker, and then outside of raids, I think striker is gonna be great on him. That said, talking about his healing possibly needing a boost, let's talk about building him. I think this character, he's a healer. He's the revive character. He needs to survive, and he wants to have a high health pool to be able to put out big barrier and put out big heals. So you want him robust. You want him built big. I would say at least teal gear, gear 15, gear 16, even 17. My general recommendation is going to be, where do you have your rescue right now for the current raid that you are running? This is a very comparable character, so bring him to that level. Keep in mind, your rescue is probably at 7 stars, whereas your forge might be 4 or 5 stars. So you're gonna have to compensate for that, but the total character power number, I would say match rescue for whatever raid you're running right now. We're running Incursion 2.0, which is the toughest raid right now, and I'm gonna initially go to gear 16, level 85, and then reassess and potentially go to level 90, gear 17. I think this is a high value character, so you're not going to regret putting gear into him, and he's going to make use of it. If you're still in the Dark Dimension 6 prep process, I think this is a good choice. Nightcrawler, I feel, is a top choice for global. Assuming you have Apocalypse, if you have Nightcrawler, that's already 2. Forge would be adding a 3rd. Gambit ideally would probably be the second choice after Nightcrawler, but that's 2 Osmium and Global, and then you have Vol and Nova to go. So I think Forge would be the next character after that if you're going to skip Gambit due to the Osmium. And then I have not tested this, but I do think a mixture of Extreme and Pegasus can possibly go through global without Apocalypse, but I don't know. I haven't tested it. The 5 pieces of gear from Apocalypse could be diverted here. I don't know. I have not tested this. This is a theory. If that's something that you want me to test out, please put that in the comments, and I can go into the test server and look into this for you. But I do think Forge is a good value character. All right, I think I covered about everything that I wanted to cover. Let's do a quick recap. I would say his special, ultimate, and passive are essential abilities, and his basic is a pretty damn good upgrade and very highly recommended, especially because I'm also recommending him as a striker. I think that's going to be very helpful, and you can also swing healer. In terms of building him, I'm going to say at least level 85 gear 15, possibly more. But my one-liner is going to be match your rescue. With that, thank you for going through Forge's kit with me. I hope you liked this crash course, and I hope to see you in the next one.